Part 8 opens immediately after Honeysuckle had gone down the hole. Rose tries to call down to her, but there's no answer. She's apparently gone, and Bumble makes a cruel joke about it. You unfeeling bitch. Pointer gets Crane ready to start up again when we pan over to Megan and company standing just a few feet away. Damn, these bees sure have leaky security for a military state ruled by a despot. Megan wants to talk to said despot, but both the Fur Bob and Sting say it won't work. As we've seen over the course of the episode, she's insane! However, Megan and Morning Glory insist on trying to find the good in her. Well, she's mean, stupid, gluttonous, and arrogant. There's not a lot of room in there for good ladies, and that's saying something. Megan just walks in, and now Pointer finally has some bees come in to stop her. A means to finally get this episode moving, at least hopefully. Megan tells Bumble to let the Flutter Ponies go. Bumble, of course, just laughs at this. And then Megan randomly says that they're surrounded, and the local bushes start moving like she really does have them surrounded. But when she doesn't, and there was no plan mentioned to make it look like they're surrounded. Seriously, George, how did this make any sense? Pointer then comes in and knocks Megan over the hole. Sting and the Fur Bob go into action. Sting and Pointer go airborne for round 2 while the Flutter Ponies try to run for it again. The Fur Bob, in the meantime, uses the stretching ability he suddenly has to help Megan off the hole. Sting and Pointer sword fight with their stingers. This works in Pointer's favor as he knocks away Stings and jabs him in the ass. Oh! Sting goes down, just so happens to land where he, Megan, Morning Glory, and the Fur Bob can be caught in a random cage, and the Flutter Ponies are also rounded up again. And that means all the protagonists in the story are either lost or trapped. Well, at least that means someone has to escape to do something, right? We cut to Drago, who's suddenly not purple but feeling pretty blue. The ponies try to cheer her up and get her to let him go, however the wrath of Hidia is a strong motivator for Drago. The ponies come up with a plan. This involves the song Pony Magic, which is in the middle of the road in terms of song quality for this episode. They show off their abilities while they get Drago to let him go, only for her to be caught in the net herself. I've seen some people say that this is mean on the part of the ponies for taking advantage of Drago. I'm here to disagree. The first obligation of a prisoner is to escape. The ponies have a ticking clock and an opportunity with Hidia, Rika, and Ott gone. They had to take it. No matter how pathetic Drago is, this is war and she's the enemy. Maybe without the ticking clock, the ponies could have tried to talk her down, but they didn't have that luxury in the situation. So the ponies are free. Wait, I thought I said that they would be in that net until almost the end of the episode. Oh yeah, that's because they're quickly recaptured by Hidia using flypaper scenery. Oh, why, George, why?
That's a taste of real magic, little ponies.
Real magic my ass. You just put up some flower print flypaper. So now that we're back to all the protagonists are trapped, let's head back to Bumbleland. Bumble sucks dry the last flower for miles, but just takes this as a sign that they need to work fast retrieving the Sunstone. Fortunately, Honeysuckle is fine and emerges from the hole. She gets Megan and company free and then calls for reinforcements. Stonebacks, bitch! The Stonebacks come out and start menacing the bees, scaring them away from the Flutter Ponies. Flutter Ponies retreat into the hole. After the Flutter Ponies are safe, the rest start to pull back too. However, the Fur Bob is nowhere to be found. Megan goes to find him while Sting covers their withdrawal.
Come on, Fur Bob, we have to go. I can't. I'm afraid of the Stonebacks. They'll hurt me.
Get in that hole or I'll hurt you. Megan drags him back and Sting dumps honey on some workers to clear the way. He and Megan jump in, but the Fur Bob still can't bring himself to go in, even with Bumble and her swarm bearing down to end the part. Part 9 begins with the Fur Bob still out in the open. However, before Bumble can put him out of everyone's misery, Megan drags him down. Underground, the Stonebacks and Sting start filling the hole, while topside Bumble wants Pointer to lead the bees into the hole. After having their abdomens handed to him, Pointer decides to use compliments to get Bumble to lead the way instead. However, by the time she jumps in, the hole's filled up and she gets stuck. In the hole, the Fur Bob is still hiding from the Stonebacks, and this is where the whole Fur Bob subplot comes crashing down. Megan suggests that the Stonebacks want to be friends with the Fur Bobs, and goes into a song about it. Yeah, Megan, you weren't here, so I'll show you what the Stonebacks did to the Fur Bobs earlier. I know this is a novel idea, but someone who tries to inflict grave bodily harm on you doesn't want to be your friend. If someone comes up and kicks me in the balls, the last thing I expect to come out of their mouth is, "Do you want to be friends?" This is where the End of Flutter Valley delivers its finishing blow. All the plots that it's brought up aren't resolved. They're just given random conclusions to put an end to them. The Furbob buys it because we're now running out of time after killing it for so long. That means we can concentrate on taking the Sunstone back to Flutter Valley. It's too hot to handle, so the Flutter ponies, now suddenly free of honey and Sting, cool it off, and they all take the tunnels back to Flutter Valley. Bumble, in the meantime, is buzzing mad, and Bumble Land is already covered in snow and ice again. Partner tries to talk her down, but she insists on going to Flutter Valley, knowing that the Flutter ponies would be headed there. The Stonebacks breach at the edge of Flutter Valley. With the witches waiting for them, the Furbob and Sting go to get reinforcements from Furbobia. Yeah, they'll be a lot of help. We're not sending anyone to Paradise Estate. Why? Speaking of the witches, Hideon has Drago running laps. However, this lets her be the first year the Flutter ponies approaching. Hideon sends Og to block them and gives him a cure for his ticklishness.
From Megan and the Flutter Ponies.
How do you know Megan is with them? Megan and company reach the entrance to Flutter Valley, but Og is there with webbing between his legs. The Flutter ponies can fly over him, but not with the Sunstone. Wait, how were you going to bring it back when the bees stole it? Come on, we're at the end of the penultimate part. Can't we just do something without it being made harder just so that it takes more time? Megan tries tickling Og, but it doesn't work to end the part. Part 10 opens with Og still blocking the way. Honeysuckle points out that if they had just pummeled the witches when they had the chance, they couldn't have done this, but it's too late for that now, isn't it? The Stonebacks and Megan decide to go under, and the Stonebacks start digging a hole. After a throwaway scene with the witches, reinforcements arrive to help dig the hole faster.
What about the Stonebacks?
The Furbobs need a little convincing, but help tunnel under Og. They come out behind said Og, and the tunnel collapses and spooks him so badly he runs out of the valley. Now, with nothing between the Flutter ponies and the witches, the ladder splits to avoid an ass-kicking. The Flutter ponies free up the other ponies, finally, and put the Sunstone back, finally. Unfortunately, this is just in time for Bumble and her swarm to arrive to try to steal it again. Joy.
You're fat, greedy, and selfish, Bumble. You only think of yourself.
I am.
She's just big exoskeleton. Rosedust comes in and offers a deal. The Flutter ponies keep the Sunstone, but the bees can harvest all the flowers they need from Flutter Valley. Sting throws in he'll rejoin the swarm, and Bumble quickly agrees. I think this was a rather quick change in attitude for her, but she really was only in it for the flowers, and doesn't care how she gets them. The bees leave, and the Sunstone begins restoring Flutter Valley. Honeysuckle and Morning Glory decide their extreme positions were wrong and realize things aren't so black and white most of the time. Finally, this episode can just end. I swear, this episode's like a zombie. It stinks and it just won't die! The witches have put up a cloud to block the sun to stop the Sunstone from working. So are you telling me that if it was overcast, Flutter Valley would have just been screwed? So we have a bit of magic tug-of-war between the Flutter ponies and the witches. The Flutter ponies win out in the end and blow the witches away. We then get a reprise of From the Sun, and the episode finally ends. The End of Flutter Valley was about as bad a way to start the series as possible. Not only did it bring back much of what was bad about the movie, but it had its own set of problems. It barely showcases any of the ponies and does none we did see any favors aside from Morning Glory and Honeysuckle. The Furbobs were fortunately a one-hit blunder, as were the Bushwoodies' names and abilities. The songs were lackluster and the animation was sloppy too, which is really a shame considering that this was going to be a lot of people's introduction to the media franchise. What really raised my ire was how helpless the ponies were in this. Their attempts to escape were always thwarted so that Megan could come in and save them. These are supposed to be our heroines, George. The various plots and subplots were also poorly handled. They were extended far beyond the point of interest and aren't resolved. They just stopped because it was time for them to end. Really, I can't see George Arthur Bloom taking pride in this script. My picture of him writing this is him sitting in a darkened room in front of a trash 80, staring blankly at a cursor and muttering paycheck over and over. There's no narrative cohesion here. The biggest problem was the length. This was not a 10-part story. This could have easily been a 4-part story by dropping the Furbob subplot completely and shortening the other plots to more manageable lengths. As it stands, this episode is a full fifth of the first season, including re-airing Rescue at Midnight Castle. I just feel like they wasted time with this that could have been given to more deserving episodes like The Return of Tambalon or another story altogether. Rating this is difficult. Saying that you should avoid this would be the easy answer, as I find very little joy in watching this. However, there are some witty moments with Bumble, and I know Morning Glory and Sting have their fans, and even Draggle has some fans. So I guess I rate this a take it or leave it. If this episode interests you, that's great. Personally, I won't be watching this very often in the future.